What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. My name is Oscar. This is where I talk about reality, awareness, consciousness, connecting with spirituality, and finding your true nature beyond the conventional. So, today's topic, before I get into the topic, right, I give you a little brief overview, I just want to say a little disclaimer. I don't advocate in this video drugs of any kind. I'm only sharing my opinion and journey and experience taking psychedelics, and to give you my message that I've been inspired to share about psychedelics if you ever consider taking it on your spiritual path to your highest potential. Okay? So, getting into the topic, today's video is called Psychedelics, the Gateway and the Gatekeeper. Now, why do I emphasize that? Well, because right now, psychedelics are becoming readily available to anybody who wants to use them. Okay? You can easily attract the circumstance and opportunity to find someone with psychedelics. And a lot of you, or a lot of people watching this video, might think, okay, I want to try this psychedelic, I want to try this psychedelic. But then there's other things you need to take into consideration. And in my journey, I've, by any means necessary, tried things out harmoniously, right? Setting the intention to find the truth. And so I can tell you that you must take the right dosage, right? If you want to get the most out of your experience. And I recommend, from my experience, to set the intention so you can get exactly what it is you're looking for on this path to truth. All right, because if you don't set the intention, and if you just go and take psychedelics, right, for the sake of pleasure or experience, then that's exactly what you're doing. You're only going after the experience. So I want you to ask yourself, are you a true seeker, right, of truth? Or are you just taking it for the experience? Because if you're just taking it for the experience, then this is not the video for you. Okay? I mean, I welcome you. You can continue to watch it, right? But my message goes a little more beyond just the experience. Because as much as it's fun to take the experience and witness these multidimensional truths, right? These higher portions of reality, right? From a higher perspective and perception. I want you guys to really attain the true freedom, the radical liberation, and permanent embodiment of your higher self. So you can walk your daily life, right? Every single day, knowing who you are, an infinite, multidimensional spiritual being here, temporarily living this physical life and spreading love and expanding others' consciousness, being a light, a beacon of light to the world, which is what I'm trying to do here in this video. So to share with you a little bit about my experience, again, I took psychedelics, and every single psychedelic experience that I had, even before I knew that setting the intention was important, I was setting the intention. I was asking, right? Oh, the high power, God, the universe, whatever you may call it. I was asking, what the hell? Oh, what the hell was that? I was asking that, okay, what should I get out of this, okay? Can I please receive the highest form of knowledge, of inspiration? And can I please receive guidance onto who I am and what's my purpose in this lifetime? That was my intention every single time that I took psychedelics, any plant medicine, LSD, mushrooms, right? Ayahuasca, all these things. That is always my intention. So I want to share with you that if you're on this path to truth, if you're on this path into becoming your best version, then psychedelics is going to be an option for you, and you can always choose to go down this path. And what I can say about the psychedelic experience is that, yes, it is a very accelerated way, a gateway, right? Hence the topic. It's a gateway to higher truths. An immediate gateway that you can literally take and therefore be in this new reality. Experience reality from an altered state of consciousness. And this will allow you to perceive reality differently for the rest of your life. It's very possible. For some people, they can't completely integrate all the wisdom, the things that they learn, because they haven't understood organically, right, holistically, what the hell is going on. So again, it could be a gateway to truth, right? You can expand your mind for a few hours, but are you coming back to this physical, tangible reality, the three-dimensional reality? And are you able to integrate what you learned? And are you able to share these lessons in your everyday life? And that's what I want you to achieve if you do choose to take psychedelics. Okay? Because you can choose to do that, right? To share the wisdom you learned, to become your best version, to increase your levels of consciousness permanently, or you can go after again and again for the experience. But I'm going to tell you why it becomes a gatekeeper when you start going after and taking psychedelics time and time again. Because now you're blinding yourself to your natural evolution. Okay? Because tell me how relevant it is to live through a psychedelic experience every single day for the rest of your life. How relevant is that? How much would you really learn if you were constantly in a psychedelic experience? Having to communicate with people. More than likely your answer is you wouldn't. You would be by yourself in some cave or some hut or some, house or apartment by yourself, as a little hermit, and trying to integrate what you're learning because it's so overwhelming. You can't relate to anybody else in the outside world because you are constantly in this state of heightened awareness. So again, think about the relevance, okay? And what I was getting at and giving you that explanation was that in my path, in my journey of taking psychedelics, I experienced and identified that it is immensely overwhelming and intense compared to the natural, organic way of evolving in your everyday moment in life. So after I would finish a psychedelic experience, I would surely come back to my reality, and it was hard to relate these truths in my everyday life. It was hard to communicate with others. I feel like I knew too much in this world because that's exactly what you're doing. You're literally perceiving the world at such a higher level of awareness that you basically just skipped. You basically went from 2nd grade to 10th grade. You didn't do any of the homework. You didn't do any of the classwork. It's like you just took a test, right? An immediate test, which is taking that plant medicine, taking that LSD shrooms, right? And you literally just skipped the grade. And now you're learning what it is to be a 12th grader when you were only in 2nd grade. So I hope you understand that analogy. So imagine you're learning things, but you haven't even evolved organically. So how could you start to integrate all this knowledge that you learn? And most of the time, you don't. So I feel like if you were going to take psychedelics, in my experience, I can say for myself that I always try to align my psychedelic experience, right, with how much I was already understanding about our reality organically through meditation, through changing my diet, through affirmations, through connecting with my higher self, and through finding out the different parts of my identity, how I was relating to other people, loving other people, feeling that unified consciousness between all of us. And then I would take the psychedelic, I would take the drug, and then because I was ready. I was ready to go on to the next level of truth. My consciousness was ready to expand to the next level. I was ready to climb that ladder, to ascend, So again, that is what I want to convey in this video. To really make sure you ask yourself the question, make sure you make the decision before you take any psychedelic. What's your present level of consciousness? What do you know about your reality so far? Have you gone and done some research about other people's experiences? Have you done the meditation? Have you changed your diet? Have you become unbiased in your approach? Have you become transparent and authentic in your everyday living? You see, these are parts of the evolutionary process that a lot of people don't want to go through. They want to keep their bad habits, but they want to go for the experience of what you experience on LSD, shrooms, and whatnot. You see what I'm saying here? So, this is important because I know it seems that you can have one thing and not the other, right? You have to incorporate and embrace all things because every single thing is part of that creation process, that process of evolving and of ascending into your highest potential. So you have to do the mundane work. You have to learn to love people, yes, okay? If you have a hard time connecting with people, you must learn how to connect with people to evolve, to love all others like yourself. Learn what's good for your body. Learn how to practice your intuition. Okay? And learn to really dissolve that ego that you have. To become more understanding with others and not try to, shove your truth down their throat because they don't know any better. Again, these are all portions of yourself that you need to discipline, right? discipline, keep in check, right? So you can start to expand. And you can get a lot done, like I said, with psychedelics. You can skip all these grades, you can learn all these higher level truths, but at the end of the day, you're still in the same spot and you're just that person with that one experience. And maybe you might get lucky, right? Or maybe when you take this drug, it might completely change your life forever, and you might even expand upon all your abilities, right? Clairvoyance, clairaudience, all your psychic abilities. You might awaken all those things. So I'm not saying if you're at a very low level of consciousness, right? Or you're at a certain level of consciousness, you can't skip the grade and be successful. You can definitely do that. And I've met a lot of people who have taken psychedelics and have experienced a very high level of truth, and that their whole life has changed forever. But through my experience and other people that I have met, I see the struggle, I see the dynamic of not being able to balance the scales, not being able to take a psychedelic experience and then come back to the ordinary third-dimensional reality and actually do the personal development work that has to be done, so you can then reach a permanent state of enlightenment, right, so to speak, a permanent level of higher truth in your everyday life, where you can be that light, you can be that wisdom for everybody else, but in the right way, without distorting, a certain truth through your own bias, without, becoming, egoic, right? And when you're talking to people and shoving truths down their throat, because then you're not being balanced. You're not letting them a chance to find the truth for themselves. You're not being understanding and compassionate, because everyone's at their own pace. So you got to understand that. So again, these are things that I started to identify as I started to evolve and to take psychedelics. And now I don't take any psychedelics, and I go back and I think to myself, wow, I see how you kind of have to go back and forth after you have certain experience. That just because you take a psychedelic doesn't mean you're balanced and that you're in alignment with the highest truth. And I remember some of my first psychedelic experiences, I thought I knew it all, right? And I had so much to learn, because I was only working with one portion of that higher truth. I wasn't completely embodying everything balanced and harmoniously. That's one of my main messages in this video as well. The fact that I want each and every person watching this video to really go after the truth, but as balanced as possible, so that you're not so distorted on this path of self-discovery. And what do I mean by distortion? It means kind of like that muck, that mirror that's dirty, that it has truth, but it's not revealing all of it, and it's not completely that full light and reflection of wisdom. And it's because you still haven't done that personal development and the work. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that it's a whole process of becoming your best version, not only by taking the psychedelic, but by actually improving these parts of yourself. Again, very simple and very practical, becoming more loving, just practicing, deleting all those old programs of thinking, switching your beliefs into more infinite beliefs of who you are. So, again, if you're really after the truth, if you're really after ascending to the next level of consciousness permanently, I recommend and advise you to really take a step back before you take psychedelics. And if you've already taken psychedelics, right, and you're already taking a few psychedelics and you already know some higher truths, I want you to ask you, where are you right now in your life when it comes to embodying and living on a daily basis these higher truths? Are you able to fully understand and comprehend what it means to be a multidimensional being? How that connects with all other things? Are you able to, spread this knowledge, spread this light to other people, and really allow them to integrate into their highest potential? Because if you're asking yourself these questions, if you're that person who has taken psychedelics and you see yourself, you're not really doing much. All you have is that one experience or a couple of experiences you've had, and you're not really living in the truth every single day, then something's not in balance, you see? Maybe you need to reevaluate your intention when you take these psychedelic experiences. And you need to start to practice setting an intention so you can gain more, right? And if you're this person who hasn't taken psychedelics before and you're thinking about it, again, I want you to realize that look for the dosage, the right dosage. Don't take too much and don't take too little. But follow your guidance, do the research, be safe, so that when you do take it, you can bring back the knowledge, you can integrate it with your reality. Hopefully you have a self-transformation, right? And you come back to your regular life as a completely different person, and you're able to integrate these higher truths. Because the last thing that I want to say in this video is that as I was taking psychedelics, I noticed that it was very easy to switch my belief systems. If you are open-minded and you're willing to break free from the old paradigms of thinking and that you want to think a different way, if you want to have a permanent, different perspective on life, then if you set that intention on whatever psychedelic that you take, you ask, right? And you shall receive. That's exactly what I found out. Each time that I took it, I would receive exactly what I had intended. And I'm very grateful that I was able to come back from this experience that I had. I was able to gain all the knowledge, remember everything in detail. And now, every single day, I can't wake up in the day without experiencing who I am, truly, an infinite, spiritual, multidimensional being that's only here in this physical shell, biological vehicle, temporarily, you see? And every moment I'm realizing this potential, this worth, this beingness. It never escapes my mind. It never escapes my perception. Because I'm permanently grounded in this level of consciousness. So, hope this video gave you a little clarity if you were going to take psychedelics, why psychedelics can be a gateway, right, to higher truths, and how it could be a gatekeeper, not allowing you and maybe confusing you on this path of evolution. And I hope you look forward to my next video. It's going to be about my shroom experience, what it was like to be on shrooms, and yeah, some things that happened along the way. All right, so much love and light to you all. Hope you enjoyed. Leave me a like, comment, let me know what you think. What psychedelics have you tried, and has it helped you attain a higher level of truth? Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's evolve.